Shall we say good morning again?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Peggy.
And I'm Amanda.
And you're watching the Junction Fiber Mill Millcast.
Millcast. We are a small wool mill in Vermont, sort of on the Vermont-New Hampshire border.
Yep.
We started making yarn here in 2021, and since then we've gone on to make a lot of colorful yarn.
Yeah.
And not so colorful yarn. All sorts of yarn.
Yeah. What are you wearing?
I am wearing the Mod Tee by Petite Knit.
Which you knit.
I did knit it miraculously. I don't get through much knitting these days, but the pattern calls for short sleeve. I'd made it long sleeve because I held my sheep, Brownie's wool, double with some silk mohair. And I made it like very
This was the silk mohair from Cowgirl Blues, right?
Exactly, yeah. And what I love, I love a lot about this sweater, but I really love the cuffs.
The cuffs are brilliant.
Yeah, so it is the same way on the bottom too, but basically you do a pearl row, and then you keep knitting, and then you flip up the cuff and you sew it in, so it's a little extra finishing, but it just feels like so clean. Like there's definitely no like curving, especially because when you sew it back in, you can kind of pull it a little bit more to the underside, so it like sort of scallops down, or whatever you would call that.
Looks good.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing my sheep too.
Okay.
And we didn't coordinate this. I do think I hand spun it. This is the natural color of my sheep. I knit this years ago. I don't have a pattern for it. It was my first test to see if I could do the cabling that would get bigger and bigger. And then I did the big version in the Teeswater. So
I like it.
Yeah.
Cozy.
Yeah, it is cozy. It's good.
I guess it's appropriate that we're wearing our sweaters made from our own sheep's wool, because later in the program we're going to show you all about shearing, which happened last weekend.
Yeah, at Savage Hart Farm. And
my farm.
And yours as well. So we'll bring you that later. What you're gonna knit while we do our Millcast?
I am. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, first, on top of my knitting, I wanted to share what I'm reading because I've been plowing through it. I'm reading Northwoods by Daniel Mason. Have you heard this book?
No.
I started it I borrowed it from a friend on Saturday.
Wow!
Look at where the bookmark is, folks. I'm so proud of it.
I take it you like it.
I really like it. I've been finding little bits and bobs of time to read it, but it's about basically a piece of land in New England is sort of the main character, and it goes from like way back when like the first people were on the land to like now I'm getting to more modern day, just like what happens on the land. But there's a lot of like very New England specific antics that happen, and it's kind of like it's got some murder in it and all sorts of stuff. So I'm really enjoying it, and it was well recommended by several friends of mine, so I'm excited to be reading it. But yes.
All right.
You're
making progress.
No, I made like zero progress last week, but I appreciate the thought. This is another petite knit. This is the Stockholm slipover V-neck vest. So thank God there's no sleeves, but I'm just going round and around in the body.
And you're going to knit because you can.
Yes.
So I did say at the last Millcast that it would end up looking redundant. So I am knitting, hold on.
Okay, sorry guys.
Little technical glitch there.
The memory card was full, so it goes.
That's so it goes. So anyway, I've started in on the neck down.
So what pattern is this?
This is the Bibliophile 3 by Alicia Plummer.
Okay, it's a men's sweater.
Yes, it's a men's raglan pullover, and it's zipping right along.
Okay.
So there we have it. But I'm not going to knit because I have to look down. I can't do your...
I'm trying to not look down because I think it's rude to the audience, but I do want to knit because...
Yeah, but I can't...
Truth be told,
we've talked about this. Yeah. I can't... I don't trust...
That you're not going to like
so when you do it, how do you... Oh, you tee it up with your thumb so you know... All right.
Yeah, I guess here's how I knit without looking at it.
Well, but you're looking at it.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at the camera.
Oh, okay.
They can tell.
All right, there we have it. There we have it. No, she's looking. No, hey, so we've got a fun thing we want to share with you. We've done it before in the past. We're bringing it back. This is one of my favorite little bags. You guys have seen it before. This is our surprise bag.
Yep.
That'll have at least 3 skeins of yarn, not full size, but 3 different colorways. And in DK or sport, you can let us know what you want. So here,
you'll get by weight, the bag will weigh twice as much if it's DK than if it's sport, but you'll get roughly the same yardage.
Right, so I'm going to give you an example of a DK one. You get big and small. I don't know if I can get it all out at once. It's so fun. This is a beautiful one. Yeah. So take a look at this one.
This is a good representative one.
Yeah, it's got
sometimes you'll just have 3
little
skeins,
accents and then a big Anyway, that's an example of the surprise bag, and
So-
it is a surprise. When you order it, you're going to get lots of yarn and different Making Tracks colorways.
Well, it's making
And
tracks, but also some farm
some-
fresh,
some farm
roots,
fresh and
it's
some
sort of
roots.
whatever what we have around. And where this yarn comes from is when we complete a batch of yarn. Sometimes there are the ends of the bobbins that we don't have enough for a full skein.
Right.
So we'll just cut it off and make a small skein, and we'll put those aside. But of course, it's hard to sell that on the internet, so we
Yeah.
just save it up every now and
And then
put them in surprise bags.
So if you want to surprise yourself.
Yeah, they're great to build your stash, to play around with new colors, or
Yeah.
to do like Peg's hat is a perfect project. There's a hat pattern that we published called Peg's hat, which you came up with. That's all just little bits and bobs.
Yeah, and
of
it definitely
what you've got.
uses up your loose ends.
Yeah.
So let's get to it.
I thought you had something that happened this morning that you
Oh, I
wanted
thought we
to
were
talk about. Oh, we're
You
talking
mean
about
last
that later?
night?
Okay.
I thought we were going to do that later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to do that later. So many reasons to stay tuned. But we're going to first take you up to my house where we did some shearing with our sheep. And you were the videographer,
Yes.
ace videographer.
Thank you very much.
Take it away.
Okay, so I am at Savage Hart Farm for their annual shearing, which is a really exciting day, and it is absolutely gorgeous here in Hartford, Vermont, and I think it's going to be a really good shearing. Gwen Hinmann, the shearer, has been up in the barn for a few hours. Maeve and I just got here, and it's really a community event. So you see there's a whole bunch of other cars behind me of other folks who've came to help out, whether they just want to check out shearing or they want to do some skirting. That's always sort of a fun community event. But let's go see what's going on in the barn.
Hello, new camera.
So shearing is well underway. I think we've done about 7 sheep so far. It all started last night, though, when Todd and some friends came in and got all the jackets off the sheep. So they were all ready to go. And we got, the food out here, and then Gwen showed up, and we've been shearing away. We start with all the white sheep.
Yeah, why do you do that?
To keep the fleece clean, because once we start
Okay.
doing the colored sheep, we don't want any of those fibers to get connected to the white fibers. So we
Gotcha.
do the whites first.
Okay.
We've got, I think, 1 or 2 more whites to go, and then we'll be going into the silvers, the chocolates, and it's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fun. So how many folks do you think are here helping out today?
A lot. I think we got a couple of kids here. I think maybe there's a dozen people here. Yeah.
Okay. And where do these people come from?
Well, the farthest traveling is my dear friend Kay Shumway, who drove over with her. She had 2 of her granddaughters drive her over. Kay's going to turn 90 in April, and I met Kay more than 10 years ago and was in a spinning group with her, and she's been to this shearing so many times. I had not seen her in 3 years. So it's a
That's
real
so
treat
fun.
that Kay's here.
Okay, and then we've got some other like mill folks.
Some
are
mill
here?
folks are here. My brother drove up from Westchester County with his kids. They're here. So it's quite the crew.
So this is obviously not the first shearing at Savage Hart Farm. It's become kind of a community event. Do you wanna
Yeah,
talk
it is.
a little bit about that?
What is nice is it's great weather. And there's some years we've had snow on the ground. We've had to have the farmer's tent because it was raining. So we've got a gorgeous day. But we moved here in 2012. So our first shearing was 2013, and it was a very humble affair with about 5 sheep. And every year it's grown, and more people kind of hear about it. And the key is to just stay clear of the shearer.
Yeah.
Gwen's got to do her job, so we
Yep.
try to stay out of her way.
So what's everyone else doing other than eating
Mingling,
snacks?
eating, and helping us skirt, and learning how to pick up and throw a fleece,
Yeah.
which is always a little tricky.
Yeah. And the sheep, how are they holding up?
The sheep are great. They're in very, very good condition. And we're also finding out when they get on their butts who's pregnant and
Oh,
who's
really?
not.
You're not ultrasounding, right?
We don't bother with the ultrasound. We bred 10.
Yep.
And I think one seems not to have stuck, as they say.
Okay.
But so far, everybody else, as we've gotten to them, is pregnant.
Okay, and how can, so Gwen is the shearer. Is she just sort of looking at the udders? Or
Exactly.
How can she tell?
She's given a feel to the other. Also, because we're so far along, we're only about 3 weeks away from lambing.
Oh, exciting.
So she can also tell by their girth, too.
Okay.
So combination of udders and girth.
How many sheep are there?
We have
for shearing?
34.
Okay, 34 sheep. And how long do you think the shearing's going to take?
It usually takes about 4.5 hours.
Okay, yeah, Gwen's pretty efficient with it.
Yeah, so she shears, trims their hooves, and gives them a vaccine in about 7 minutes per sheep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
And her baby brother got something to keep right down here. He looks kind of like an upside down rabbit.
So it's weird to think that this sheep was jet black a few years ago. What are you guys doing? Oh, really? 17. She was born in 2017. So what is that? That's old. Do the math for me, Agnes. Oh, yeah. 17, that's 3, so 7 years old? I have a
Okay, so
clipboard.
you can look at me. Hi, Eileen.
Hey, Amanda.
What are you up to here at shearing?
Well, my job is to keep a tally on how many sheep we go through. I help bag the fleeces as they come off the table, and all important, I weigh them and get them in the truck to go to the mill.
Okay, and for those who couldn't tell, Eileen is Peg's sister. I don't know if you've officially been on the Millcast before.
I don't think so.
Okay. Hi, Liz.
Hi,
You can look
Amanda.
at me.
Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Good. How's shearing going?
This is really exciting. This is my first time coming.
No way.
Yeah, last year I was out of town, and so I've never actually seen the process live. So it's super cool.
Any
And
surprises?
it's just how chill the sheep are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like spa day for the sheep. So
Yeah.
that's really cool to see, and just how fast. I mean, Gwen is super fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bridge timed it, and I think it was like 3 minutes, and she was done. So
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Have you gotten in on the skirting table yet?
I have not. I brought my knitting
I see that.
so that I could like show the sheep what is going to happen next. But no, I have not gotten on the skirting table. It's pretty crowded over here, so
Yeah,
I've just
it is. They're right behind us here.
So I've just been trying to sort of stay out of the way.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Todd. Peggy and I own Savage Hart Farm, and today's shearing day, which is Peg's favorite day of the year. She likes it more than her birthday, more than Christmas, anything. She loves seeing the colored fleece come off the animals.
What's your role in this day?
My role is to fill up the CDT, which is a vaccine, 2 milliliters, hand it to Gwen, she gives it a shot, and fill it up for the next one.
Okay.
I used to have to be in the pen there and would wrestle every sheep and get it to Gwen, but now I've got younger, more able bodies doing it, Cody and Elise, so it's much easier on me these days.
Hello.
Hello.
My husband Cody, everybody. How's it going?
It's great. We've got some good help. Not back here alone. Wrangling sheep.
Yeah, so what is your job at shearing?
Well, at this point, we basically are moving sheep from out here, or in here, out there so that Gwen can shear them. And we always start with the white, and then we go with the Moritz, which is what we're doing now.
And
then
what
we'll
color
go with the dark
is
ones.
Moritz here?
Moritz is kind of like this sandy color here. This is Jewel.
Hi, Jewel. Oh, she is so pretty.
She always lines up right here, right in our way, the entire day.
Yeah.
You're a sweetheart.
Okay.
So we're gonna feed her into Gwen next.
All right, who are you?
I'm Elise. I work for Junction Fiber Mill. I work in the mill as a mill worker, and I do some marketing with Amanda.
Yeah, and today, what are you doing?
I'm wrangling sheep. This is my
shearing?
first ever shearing day.
And what do you think?
It's great. The only other time I've been in the farm was for lambing season last year, which is when I interviewed with the mill. So it's really fun to see it kind of full cycle.
Yep.
All right, Rowan, you got it. You got it. Lift it up high. Okay. So you're going to come around. So what Rowan is trying to do now is keep her balance. And then when you get up, we're going to lift it up a little bit, Rowan. Don't throw it right away. Okay. Hold it. Hold it. Okay. High and out. 1, 2, 3. All right. So the idea here, we're at our skirting table. Let's get it all laid out if we can.
Is this the neck?
Let's first get it all. We got it. I got a section underneath here. Hold on. Finding a home for it. Okay. So we're at the skirting table. We got a crew working around it. These sheep were wearing jackets, and so the center of it is just gorgeous clean. What we're doing now is going around the edges and looking for, if you'll look at this part here, this is where the jacket came to the end, and so you can see all this matted hay. That's got to go. So we're going to pull out the neck, and we're looking for poopy parts. When we scour it, we can get a lot of the dirt out, but if it's particularly matted, we want that to be gone. So it's going around the edges. You can see here again, there's a lot of what we call VM in it. And it's kind of felted here. So this was the end, and we want to get rid of the bad stuff. And that's what we're working on now. And it doesn't take very long. You know you're in trouble if you get your tweezers out. So what you want to see, though, is this side is where the sun was bleaching the tips of the animal. But if you turn it over, you can see the absolutely gorgeous fibers underneath. So this is her color, and they gray out over time, and you can see it here. Look at this fabulous coloring here. So we fold it in thirds, and then we're going to roll it up, and here it comes. We got a bag coming. All right.
Oh, that's a beauty. But these little swinging things seem to work, so.
The spray, like the deer up and stuff like that.
All right. And there you have it, the skirted fleece. We're ready for the next one.
Hey guys, say it again. What do you think about sheep shearing?
God.
You having fun?
Yeah, I was talking about shearing.
You were. You've been talking a lot about shearing. What do you think now that we're here? Is it pretty fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your favorite part about sheep shearing?
Kicking off the wall.
Very pale. Do I have most of it? great job.
Thank you very much.
It's a lot to cover.
Gwen did a great job shearing
Yeah.
all those sheep.
She's incredible, absolutely incredible. I'm told, she has said, that she does about 10,000 sheep a year. We've had some people comment, not on ours, but we've seen it kind of out in on the internet, that people think that shearing sheep somehow harms the sheep or hurts them. Not the case. These are domesticated animals that were bred for centuries for their fiber. Most breeds are for their fiber, and so they want to be shorn. In fact, some breeds get shorn twice a year because their fiber grows so quickly. In my case, with our Corriedale, it's once a year, and it gives them relief, and it's what they're intended for. I will also say a lot of people go, well, aren't they going to get really cold? It's why we're not doing it in January. But the other thing is, what's really keeping the sheep warm is the lanolin that they're secreting, not necessarily the fiber itself. So it's been a couple days since shearing. Our sheep are fine. They're not belly aching or anything. What is funny, they look so different.
Yeah. I will say our sheep have kept to the barn since they've been shorn, and they are going through hay a lot faster. So I think they eat a little bit more, also makes them warmer. So, because we did get kind of a cold snap right after shearing, but...
Yeah, but just know shearing is not, it is, the animal is not being hurt.
And, furthermore, they're just dependent on us at this point to shear them. I know people probably seen those news stories that go around every now and then about a merino sheep in New Zealand who turns up years later and is
nearly dead because of the weight of the fiber that they're
Yeah.
carrying. Yeah, those stories make me sad.
I know. You got to care for your animals, and
Right.
so I know people get into sheep and they're like, oh, I want to do it for the meat or for other reasons. Then the wool, do I need to go through the expense of shearing it? It's like, you do.
Yeah,
You still
unless
got
you get a hair breed, but that's something different.
Yeah. So anyways,
Anyhow.
after Gwen was at Peg's farm, she came over to my house and sheared our 5 sheep, which is just a little bit of a scenario. We just do it in the garage because we don't have a big, beautiful barn. And Gwen sets up her clippers, and we put Lewis out there in the high chair to watch the whole scene.
Excellent.
And it was fun. Maeve was in charge of sweeping, so
I love it.
It was nice. We had a friend come over and help us out a little bit, but
Terrific.
it was nice.
Oh, and it was great of Cody to and Elise were
To
in there
wrangle.
wrangling the sheep. That was good.
Yeah.
It's a real social scene.
Maeve is still talking about it. She wants
Oh,
to know
good.
when we're going to shear sheep again. I said, not till next year.
Yeah, exactly. If we get interrupted again, it could be because our Maytag washing machine, which we use to spin out the wool when we're washing it or rinsing the yarn.
We use the centrifugal force of it just to pull out and drain.
And it was it was a Maytag washing machine that we bought when we bought the whole mill. So it's been put through its
Been
paces.
around.
It is starting to make really bad noises.
Yeah, and I feel like Peg and I are always, like, when we sit in the back and, like, work on computers and edit the Millcast and whatever, we always have half an ear on what's going on in the mill. And the other day I was like, Peg,
boom,
what
boom,
is
boom,
that
boom, boom.
noise?
Yeah,
and I was like, thank God of all the equipment. It's the
it was
washer,
the
'cause
washing
that is the
machine.
one you can call up whatever equipment.
Stick it with a fork. It's done. So at some point this morning, they do this sometime between 9 and noon.
Yep.
When we're going with a Maytag again.
Yeah, because, we're a little superstitious.
yeah, right, exactly. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
You got an update on
I
our
do.
our charity efforts?
Yes. So it's a little confusing on the website, but Knit for Food, which is April 5th, it's coming right up. It's the 12-hour knit-a-thon to raise money to prevent hunger. And the money goes directly to 4 charities that they have selected. And our team set out with a goal to raise $7,000, which was double what we raised last year. And I think we made it, but it is a little complicated. From the numbers I can see, our team and everyone in the team who's like fundraising, so for instance, Liz is on our team, and Liz is also sending out to her friends and family to say fundraise, and then they'll fundraise for Liz, but because she's on our team, it rolls into our fundraising. So that number is almost $8,000 as we record this, which is so exciting.
It's just so impressive.
But the people who've donated directly to our campaign is more like almost $4,000. So I'm going to go with the bigger number. I think we did a great job. And you did a great job. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much
for donating. And that includes the money that the proceeds from the yarn, the special edition yarn that we made. But I feel very excited going into that weekend. But of course, there's still time to donate. There's still time to participate.
Yeah.
join in on April 5th and knit for 12 hours a day. I think it's a great cause to do some extreme knitting.
Extreme knitting is right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Liz,
Yes, this is a great segue.
Look what look what Liz knitted up.
Liz from the shearing video.
Yeah, this is the Alpine bloom hat. You've seen it probably, Alpine bloom. You can also do it as a full sweater, but this is the hat.
We've showed you this one before, and
yeah, this is
Aurora Borealis knit
Right.
with it was actually our Blueface Leicester, but it's pretty much the same color as our Blueberry Roots. And what she did is
she reversed it.
Yeah, she had some yarn again left in her stash and reversed it. And I think this is just such a fun way to see
so cute.
the difference between using the making tracks. This is like
the
more typical way to use it.
Yeah, the flower as the making tracks,
sort of,
and then in this case the
what do you call
flower
that,
is the
stained
solid.
glass?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, very cool, and it feels like, and this was in sport weight. It feels like $1 million.
And it's like a lightweight hat, even despite the double layer, just because you have the sport weight. So she just whips those out. So.
Yes, she does. She's incredible. I want to share with you a kind of fun little video. I have a nephew. His name is Rick Henshaw. He is headed soon to business school, but he is a serious skier. So he had finished his job, and he had extra time, and he has come over from Albany, New York, and is staying with us for a few days to do some hardcore skiing. And Todd actually went skiing with him yesterday, and when he came back, Kiki, our dog, whom I have talked about, is full of beans. And
We love Kiki.
I said, Rick, it is so hard to wear this dog out. And he said, really? I think I have an idea. Take a look at this. So this is Rick. He got Todd to go down to the basement and find a driver from the golf bag, and it was just hilarious. He took a swing at it, and Kiki just went charging after it.
How many times did Kiki go for this?
Easily 7 times, and
Amazing.
she was whooped because she had to go down the hill and then, of course, run back up the hill. She was a pig, and you know what? She was just having a great time, and it was just so clever.
Yeah, that's so fun.
So it was a lot of fun. Thank you, Rick. What have I got?
Sugar on Snow.
Oh, yeah.
We had a great time with those boxes, as we expected.
Yeah.
They sold out, so hopefully folks that wanted one got one. They did stick around at least for a couple hours.
Yeah,
so.
and thanks for the very nice comments about George Miller. He's just the hardest
He's a
working guy.
classic.
Yeah.
A legend, as my friend Spencer would say.
Yeah, so thanks for the very kind comments about seeing what George does with his sugar shack. There were a couple of comments because I think I made some reference to, Vermont has the very best maple syrup. Well, New Hampshire has good maple syrup too. So does Canada, but we live in Vermont. So
we gotta be Vermont proud.
We gotta be Vermont proud, exactly. Anyway, thanks for all the nice comments.
Yeah.
It was good. I'm going on the road.
Yeah, where are you going?
I'm going to Danby, Vermont.
This job takes you all over the state.
Yeah, so tomorrow morning, Todd may or may not go with me. You're going to get up at the crack of dawn. It's about an hour and a half away. Who'd think you could drive an hour and a half and still be in the state of Vermont? It's so small.
You look on the map and it will dececeive you. You need to have one of those maps that shows the mountains like in there.
Right.
Like,
well, and also there's so few highways. So I'm going to take 91 south, and then it's bump and grind to get to the other side of the state. Why am I going to Danby, Vermont? Because there is a flock of Western Polypay sheep, 400 of them, that are being shorn, and we have the possibility, the option to buy what they call the clip, all the shearing. And I'm not doing the shearing. I'm not going to stay for the whole shearing, but I want to see the sheep. I want to know that the fiber is pretty clean.
Because Polypay is, I think, similar to a merino, right? It's a very fine fiber with a lot of crimp, which means we run the risk in this environment especially of having a lot of VM in there or vegetable matter from the fields.
Right.
And we know even if we send it down to be scoured at chargers, it's not going to get rid of all of that VM. So
Right.
we need to see what state it's in so that we can decide if it's a good investment.
Yeah, I want to eyeball the sheep because I made a mistake on a round. And
we had an experiment.
We had an experiment, and we sent it down to chargers, and it was some rambouillet, and it just didn't come back clean enough for us to work with. So if this is clean enough, we'll do the same thing. It should be about 1,600 pounds, and we'll ship it down to chargers in South Carolina. They'll scour it. We'll ship it back up, and then have some fun with it. So stay posted. I'll take a couple of pictures. Polypay, I believe, is a breed that was developed by Cornell, which has a phenomenal sheep and goat program.
Yep.
With the idea that it's a breed that you can breed year round. I'll tell you.
What's the benefit to that?
I think it's that you can do some of your flock
Okay, so it
in
doesn't have to
June.
be like so intensive.
Right,
or, okay.
right.
Yep.
I'll know more. I'll learn a lot from Caleb.
Okay.
Caleb,
And
the sheep farmer.
I mean, out of curiosity, why can't you breed a Corriedale all year round? You know.
That's a good question. I'm going to ask Caleb what's
To be continued.
more on that. I mean, you could. I mean,
Maybe
we
it's
choose.
like the hay versus like out on field or something.
We'll stay curious. We'll let you know.
I am.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, I
All
hope
right.
you have a great adventure.
Yeah.
And we will see you next time on the Millcast.
See ya.
Bye.